Do you give good feedback? Giving feedback can be hard and a little scary, intimidating, and uncomfortable. And a lot of leaders make 3 very common mistakes. To learn more, let's chat. Hello and welcome to the Unapologetically Authentic Leadership channel. I'm Brooke Bernard, your transformational leadership coach. This space is all about empowering high-achieving women in leadership to be their authentic selves. And in case you're new here, my goal is to help you reach your full potential by being who you are, not who you're expected to be. So first and foremost, feedback is the thing that helps all of us grow personally and professionally. So we should all want feedback. And leaders who are invested pay attention to the potential of their team, the work that is being produced, and the team dynamic. If you are aware of what is happening on all 3 of those levels, then you are able to provide excellent, regular, specific, timely feedback that lets your employees know that you are really in it to win it. And employees who receive that regular feedback are way more engaged because they know that their leaders care, that they are invested in them, their work, and committed to the vision and mission of their organization, which is highly motivating. Mistake number 1, being vague. When we receive vague feedback, especially from our leaders, it causes us to feel confused, frustrated, anxious. So as a leader, your goal is always to provide effective feedback, which is specific and actionable. And in order for it to be actionable, you need to provide real-time examples of behaviors that you want that individual to change. Mistake number 2, wrong time, wrong place. Never give feedback in a high-stress situation or where individuals' emotions are running high. And never give feedback in front of someone's peers, or worse, those they lead. Because we all know that if it was reversed and that was us, we would feel embarrassed, we would feel defensive, and our relationship with the person giving the feedback would be strained as a result. So avoid wrong time, wrong place at all costs. Instead, choose a private moment in a calm environment to give your feedback. The goal is for your employee to be able to be fully present, to hear the feedback that you are giving, to reflect on it, and then when they're ready, make a plan for how to improve. And mistake number 3, letting your own discomfort with providing feedback derail the feedback experience for your employee. Now, a lot of us can be uncomfortable delivering feedback. And maybe it's delivering certain kinds of feedback, maybe it's delivering feedback to certain people. But as the leader, you have to be able to step back from all of that. Because when you are uncomfortable, it can lead to you wanting to avoid giving the feedback, which may delay the process. You may be projecting your nervous energy onto the moment and that employee, which will make them feel nervous, and you may come across harsher or more cavalier than is appropriate for the situation. The goal here is to follow a model for giving feedback that is going to allow you to be confident, focused, and present for that moment with your employee. Because every time you give feedback, that's an opportunity to strengthen your connection with that person. Because you are saying to them that you value them, that you're paying attention to their work, that you want to help them grow and improve. And sometimes feedback is just to celebrate a win and say like, hey, I noticed this and it was amazing. And even when you're sharing things that are pain points, maybe something that someone isn't aware of yet, and you are helping them, that is a gift. That is an insight. That is like you opening a door for them so they can walk through it and they can be different on the other side. more self-aware, more empowered. And with you there by their side to see this change and evolution occur based on the feedback that you provided, they're not alone in that. And every time that you're providing feedback, it always has to come from a place of, I see you, I care about you, and we're in this together. Because I want you to be the best you can be. I want you to excel in this role. I want you to be ready for that next advancement in your career. So let's help you get there. Okay, so if a goal is to have a model that you follow in order to boost your confidence, help you focus, and be fully present for your staff member, then it's only right that I share a model with you. So while there are multiple models for giving feedback out there, I really am a fan of a model called SBI, Situation, Behavior, Impact. As I'm describing the model, we're going to run through one example that is going to highlight each part, and we're going to walk through that now. So for situation, I want you to think always of what day was it and what event were you at. For example, at Monday's department meeting, so they are able to remember back to that specific time and that experience. So they're with you then for the rest of the conversation. So then comes behavior. So behaviors are always something that is observable. So an observable action or words that were spoken. There's nothing subjective here. It's just factual. And that's important. So here's our example. You interrupted Sarah's pitch for the project and said that her idea wouldn't work in front of the whole team. So now we're going to talk about impact. And impact is how that behavior, positive or negative, impacted the team, the department, or the organization. And here's the rest of our example. As a result, two things happened. Your colleague Sarah shut down, and our department lost the opportunity for discussion about the pros and cons of her approach to the project. So let's walk through the whole example so that you can hear how it would flow. At Monday's department meeting, you interrupted Sarah's pitch for the project and said her idea wouldn't work in front of the whole department. And as a result, two things happened. First, your colleague Sarah shut down. And second, our department lost the opportunity for discussion about the pros and cons of her approach to the project. So at this point, you have two paths you could go down. So path number one, you could choose to ask your staff member to reflect on the feedback that you just provided and then tell you what they will do differently next time. Or you can choose to add an R that stands for request to SBI. And a request is simply a recommendation from you for an actionable step that they can take to change or improve their behavior moving forward. And it could sound like this. In the future, you need to wait until a speaker has finished and is ready to take questions. At that point, you can thank them for the work that they've done and then frame your thought as a question. Like, have you considered X? This approach will promote conversation within our team that will result in the best possible outcomes for us and will be in line with our organizational values. In summary, avoid these mistakes. Avoid being vague, avoid giving feedback at the wrong time in the wrong place, and avoid letting your own discomfort get the best of you and derail the feedback experience for your employee. By avoiding these mistakes, you will foster a positive culture around feedback that promotes learning and development for your team. And remember, structured feedback allows everyone to learn and grow. And as a leader, developing people is part of your responsibility set. And when people know they can count on you to receive actionable feedback that will make them better, they will be more receptive, especially if they know that it's coming from that place of I see you, I care about you, and we're in this together. By approaching it from a growth mindset, you are going to boost their confidence and increase their self-awareness. At the same time, you will be deepening your connection with them. They will trust you and they will have more open communication with you because they know that you are invested in them. And all employees want to know that their leader sees them, hears them, and values them. So use feedback as that way to build those connections, to retain your people, and to help them grow in their careers. It is a wonderful tool that is way underutilized. And now you have a model that you can follow that is nice and easy. And if you want to give yourself an additional challenge, then try to deliver the feedback in 20 words or less. So when you're talking about the situation, the behavior, and the impact, try to do it in 20 words or less. And remember, the less words, the better, because when people are receiving feedback, even in the best of circumstances, it can still be overwhelming. And especially for those who are very self-critical, they may have a hard time digesting what you're saying and they may not be able to respond and interact with you right away about it. So be ready. Be ready for people to take it in. And as long as they know that it's part of your norm and it's being offered with the best of intentions and because you care about them and their development, they will be able to process it, but it might not be in that moment. So be ready to give them a little bit of space. And you can even say, let's talk about this the next time we meet. Or I look forward to talking about this next time we meet. And then they'll know, okay, so this is a conversation, it's ongoing, it's not like a one-time thing. There's no judgment here or no communication that's like subtext about them underperforming or you being disappointed or them not meeting expectations. Because I think for staff members that are really hard on themselves, you need to be aware that that could be like the internal monologue. So cushion your comments with a few helpful words around that just to address the concern that they might have that they're not voicing. And for all feedback, especially feedback that's performance oriented, you always need to follow up. So you can follow up on the positive feedback, and that's a great way to build rapport and to continue connecting. But if it's a behavior that you're asking to see change or improvement on, then you need to be able to show up to that next meeting with them and say, okay, let's talk about your progress on this thing that we talked about. And if they didn't make an action plan with you on how to improve last time, then this would be the meeting to do that as well. I hope this helps. I hope that it frees you from any lingering doubts you had about giving feedback and gives you a path forward that is going to be helpful in your daily work. Thank you for spending this time with me today, and thank you for being a part of this community. Your support means everything to me. So please like the video, share it with a friend. If you're new here, please subscribe. And as always, if you are interested in personalized guidance and support, connect with me and we can talk about private coaching, what that would look like, if it's right for you, and how I can help. How I can help you grow into the best version of you and live your best life. And until next time, stay true to yourself, lead with purpose, and thank you for watching.